Do you dream of random publisher reaching out to you and offering you a job as an illustrator? Well, as a publisher who constantly searching for an illustrator online, I want you to know one thing. That is, I don't really care about how much followers you have. So, what exactly do publisher and companies look for? Well, let's find out together. Hello, nice to meet you. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kitsune, and I work for a personalized picture book and I currently work in a personalized picture book publishing company in Japan. On a daily basis, I search for illustrator on platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, and other social media in order to scout talents. From my observations, I've noticed that many artists struggle to appeal to companies. Today, I want to share my perspective as a publishing company employee and provide insights on how you can improve your portfolio or your social media accounts to increase your chance of getting illustration jobs. One crucial thing you need to have in order to secure an illustrator job is to have an online portfolio. Okay, let me share my experience with you. Every year, my university asks its graduates to design their Christmas card, and in 2023, I had the opportunity to design this Christmas card. And I was really curious why they choose me among many graduates. I bet there's a billion of graduates by now. So out of curiosity, I asked people who hired me, and their response was really simple. Because we were able to find you. So many individuals who can draw really good picture or paintings. However, if you don't have accessible online presence, there's no way someone can approach you or contact you to give you a job. So, in order to increase your chance of landing into first ever illustration job, having an SNS account or a website where people can find you is the bare minimum you can do. So, assuming you already have an online portfolio or SNS account, how can you attract people? Before diving into the tips, I want to debunk the common misconception. You do not need thousands or millions of followers to get a job. As a small company publisher, I'm not interested in how famous you are. I'm more concerned with whether you can take this job or if you have the ability to excel in this job. That's it. It's not about followers. It's not about how many views you get. So how can you demonstrate your capability and readiness to work with a publisher? Here are 4 tips to improve your portfolio and increase your chances of getting your job. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, include a variety of subjects and styles. So usually when a publisher or individual or company is looking for illustrator, they already have a specific project in their mind, and they're actually looking for illustrator whose style aligns with this project. To cater to a variety of business needs, it's beneficial to have multiple styles and draw multiple subjects too. I think this is especially common among children's book artists. While they are really focused and draws a lot of children and cute and fluffy animals, they may not depict or draw evil character or adults, parents, buildings, vehicles, or their own original character. So if you think about when you create story, there's a multiple role. There's gonna be a protagonist, maybe it's a child, and there's a sidekick, a goofy animal, I don't know, and there's gonna be enemy who would look evil, and sometimes parents or adults would get involved. So there is variety of character you have to draw. And yeah, also expression is pretty important. If your portfolio only showcases smiling, happy faces, and if I visit your Instagram page and only see cheerful children and fluffy animals and just smiley faces, I might be really hesitant to offer you a job because I'm uncertain if you can depict different expressions or diverse characters. So therefore, it's important to include a variety of styles and variety of subjects to draw in your portfolio, just to make sure, just to showcase that you're available to do anything. Tip number 2, specify your language that you can speak. Especially if you're not from America or England, it's always safe to mention. This is particularly really important if you want to have a international illustration job. So in our company where I work is located in Japan and our consumer is Japanese, but we work with overseas international illustrators. Like we have a Polish illustrator, we have Belarusi illustrator, and like all over the world. Normally you would write and post in your mother tongue, but if you only post and write in your mother tongue and never mention that you can kind of understand English or can able to speak and communicate in English, it's really hard for certain publishers to reach out to you because we don't know if we can communicate or not. So listing whatever language you can communicate in your portfolio is to ensure that international clients can approach you with the ease. Tip number 3, clearly state your professional status. Within your profile, make sure to write that you're an illustrator and looking for a job. Avoid vague description like love to draw or like you're a Japanese girly thriving to live. Some people write that, right? As someone offering you a job opportunity, I want to see a professional atmosphere. Just a little bit. You can be goofy, but like just little bit. And I want to be certain that you are indeed an illustrator and not someone who just loves to draw and doesn't really want to do a job. And consider adding a phrase like looking for work or like work offers, please DM me or something like that. This is to indicate that you are actively seeking employment or job. No commitment. If you really want to enhance your accessibility, then definitely write your work email address on your profile. As someone who actually hires illustrator, I prefer emails than DMs because maybe it's only me, but Meta Business doesn't really work well for me. And yeah, keeping track of your message through DM or SNS is pretty hard, so I prefer Gmail. Tip number 4, engage with larger accounts. So actually, this is the most important tips I would give to you today, I guess. And this is really overlooked, but this can be really highly effective. If you're not following the big accounts, you should do it right now. Try following prominent illustrator accounts on social media. I'm specifically talking about Instagram in this case. Why? Because by doing so, your profile may appear in the recommendation for other users. This is how I would look for illustrators. So typically, I will begin by searching for famous illustrators whose style aligns with the project's requirements. Then I explore the suggested similar accounts. By following this process, I would eventually discover a talented artist who may not have massive followings, but possesses the skills needed for the job. So I'm gonna show how I do this right now. Let's follow Sam Does Arts. He's one of the biggest artists on the social media. And let's look into his recommended artists. So usually recommended artists would be prominent accounts with lesser or equal follower bases. But if you repeat the process, you will discover smaller accounts with potentials. This is how some publisher companies find promising illustrators. At least my company hires illustrator in this way. Remember, as an illustrator, it's really important to showcase your skills, professionalism, and your accessibility through your portfolio and online presence. By implementing these tips, you can increase your chance of landing into your first ever illustration jobs. Good luck!